So today we're going to be installing a Z07 high wing on the C8 Z06. Now in general, because it has the low wing from the factory, there is a whole bunch of holes on the rear bumper that would need to be covered up for the Z07 wing that just only has 2 posts. But the kit that I have has a special carbon fiber cover that's a little bit better than anything else I've seen on the market and actually makes it look like it's purposeful. So I'm really excited to share all of that in today's video. So thanks again for tuning in, guys. And like I said, we are going to be installing the Z07 high wing on the Z06. And in particular, it comes from a company called Extreme Online Store, or EOS for short. Now it is right here. I'm not even gonna play around with having it in a box and do an unveiling and all that kind of stuff. I personally have been holding onto this box for a bit of time now, waiting for the right moment and a little bit of time to get this install done. And today is finally the day. So I did not even waste any time. I have it all set up over here, ready to go. And again, it comes from Extreme Online Store, where you can actually get this Z07 high wing, not only for like the Z06 and the E-Ray, but they have a same version of this for the Stingray as well. That also has an additional lip cover to cover up the previous hole, so you don't have to do any additional body work kind of deal and get it paint matched and all that kind of stuff, which frankly for me that's just too much work. And honestly, if there's a proper carbon fiber cover that will cover all those kind of holes and look like it's purposeful, I'm all down for that. And they actually are for a pretty reasonable price for carbon fiber for around $2,100. So not bad of a price for a giant freaking wing that honestly, guys, it looks fantastic. So it does come disassembled, but we are going to show you exactly how to install this all in detail in the future video. But this comes with everything you need to get it installed on the Z06. So let's kind of show you what's going on in regards to what you get in the box. Okay, starting off with the main big piece, we have this Z07 carbon fiber high wing that has such an aggressive freaking profile and look to it in regards to just how you would get from the Z07 wing. This thing is massively curved kind of deal and looks so good. The finish on this is pretty good for the price. I can definitely appreciate EOS's attention to detail in regards to this high wing. And one of the big things to note is that it does have the herringbone pattern right down the middle. So if you have that for other pieces of carbon fiber on your C8, this will be a nice feature that will kind of tie in everything in regards to all that herringbone pattern kind of deal. Is it called herringbone? It's just split pattern. Either way. And then you have your actual carbon fiber cover struts that are going to go underneath here, along with the structural pieces that go inside the actual cover struts. You also have the winglets also on the side that are in carbon fiber as well and are looking really good. You have it for both sides. So these will attach on the end. Near the end of the install, you'll do all the structural mounting and all that kind of stuff, and then add these winglets on the side. Again, I'll show you how to install this all in a future video because it is pretty detailed. I will say this is probably one of those installs that you might not want to try to do yourself because it does involve quite a bit of drilling, quite a bit of trimming from the rear bumper to make the holes for these specifically, these mounts. And yeah, if you're not as inclined as a DIY or whatnot, you might want to find a proper body shop to do this install. But regardless, these are the main pieces. And then moving on to over here to this other table, we have then the cover and structural pieces. So I'll go over the structural pieces first. So these are the pieces that are going to, again, mount to this piece technically is going to be mounting to the rear bumper of the C8 Z06, and then from there it attaches to these mounting points here. This piece also is an extra mounting point to the rear bumper frame. So basically you get a nice solid rigid structure that is going to be able to handle all the aerodynamic downforce that this is going to experience at high speed when you're on the highway or on the track or whatever, because this is going to produce a decent amount of downforce just like the OEM Z07 wing would. So you need beefy freaking mounts, and these are, I don't know if you can hear it on the camera, So these are full metal pieces that will mount to the rear frame and give you one solid piece. Now, aside from obviously the big piece of the Z07 wing, the other piece I'm really excited about is honestly this piece right here. Now, from this angle, it just looks like a cover that would go along. But if you look at it from the other side, it actually has a bit of a lip on it. And that little bit of a lip makes it, in my opinion, look way more purposeful on the back end of the rear bumper. So I'll just grab the actual piece. I know I'm kind of going back and forth, so I do apologize. But essentially, this piece here is going to mount exactly where I have the low profile sections here. But the big thing about this though, is that how you see this little lip right here is going to match the underside of the lip right here and go with the flow of what you have going on the rear bumper, covering all the different holes that are unfortunately the attachment points for the Z07 low profile wing. This is going to take care of all that, and it's going to look really nice and flush. And there's two different versions in regards to if you have a Stingray or you have a Z06. So again, depending on which version, they actually change what kind of cover is on there. I think the Z51, the Stingray version, has like an extra little lip on the side here to just give you a little bit extra covering. But overall, this is gonna work really, really nicely, tie in everything on the back end of my Z06. So now that I've talked about this a bit, I can't wait any longer, and I'm gonna go ahead with installing this on the C8 Z06. So let's get started, guys.
I can't wait for you.
So alrighty guys, so we have finished installing the Z07 high wing on the Z06 Corvette, and guys, I absolutely love it. Now the job, I will admit, the very few times it is not for the faint of heart. It is definitely something that you need to have at minimum an intermediate level of knowledge, experience in regards to doing body work and such. Mostly because you are cutting into that rear bumper and drilling holes into the back composite frame as well. So if you're not absolutely comfortable in doing this DIY, definitely take it to a body shop, a professional body shop. I would argue not even take it to a Corvette dealership that has a certified tech, even though I'm sure they could probably do it, but going to like a professional body shop where they are experienced with doing those kind of cuts and such, mostly because it is a lot of work. It's a little nerve-wracking. I was a little nervous doing that, and I've done quite a few different mods. And so I will caveat with that. Now, I am going to have a how-to instructional video on how to do this process, at least for the Z06, but it might take a little bit of time to get to that point because there are quite a few different steps. And in general, the fitment on this, I will say, I will give it a solid B, maybe B minus. It was a little bit challenging in certain areas to get this all lined up. Structurally, the structural brackets and such, that all lined up perfectly. There was no issues with that. But actually aligning the actual post to the bumper and getting it all flush, it took quite a bit of effort. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. It was a little bit of effort and a little bit of challenging and maybe a couple of swear words here and there. But overall, it came out really, really good. Now, I've already driven with this high wing on for a little bit of time, gotten it up to like highway speeds, maybe a little bit more. Like, I'm not gonna say on video exactly how fast, but pretty fast, because I wanted to test out how this was gonna like handle, and it handled pretty well. I will say on the ends, you do get a little bit of oscillation, a little bit swaying, but that is pretty much to be expected because it's just a free hanging, at least to my other engineers out there, cantilever beam. It's just hanging out there. It's gonna oscillate. So I'm gonna be very transparent with you guys that there is some on this, and comparatively to like the OEM, I'm pretty sure it's a little bit more, but I definitely think it's a bit less than some of the competitors out there. I'm not gonna name specifics, but other companies that, let's say, have a little bit of quality control issues, it is better than that for sure. So I would recommend this if you are looking for a little bit of a more budget-friendly option, especially for my C8 Stingrays out there. EOS has two different versions of these, one for the Z06 like mine, or another for your Stingrays. So you can get this same one for your Stingray. The cover on the bottom will fit exactly your Stingray version, which is a little different from the Z06, but they both will match up. And the rear wing looks pretty darn good. I think this was a pretty successful install and upgrade in my opinion, but what do you guys think? I like the back end of the cover, specifically for the Z06. It came out really, really good actually. I'm really surprised at how well it all lined up really, really nicely. It looks like it's purposeful. It doesn't look just like a cover that's just on there in my opinion. But yeah, if you're interested in one of these for your C8 Corvette, I'll have a link in the description below so you could check it out. And overall, it went really, really nice. And as you can see, there's also another mod that I did and changed out the wheel color. I didn't change out the wheels, but I changed the wheel color. And that's gonna be a future video that I'm excited to share with you guys. It was actually a fun project. If you kind of been part of the channel for a bit, you know what I basically did to change these colors. But it is gonna be an upcoming video. When that comes out, you'll see it right here. But in the meantime, please check out any of my other videos and we'll see you next time. Take care, guys.